You know what's not bad timing, though? What's going on with Bron Breakker right now? In, I think, like the first week of this show, I talked about how I wasn't in on Bron Breakker. And that was because of I thought he floundered in NXT during his world title reign. I thought he picked it back up with the stuff with Baron Corbin. I explained a couple times that he was a very tough person to interview. He did not give you much. I wanted to get more out of him. So what has WWE done with Bron? They're not letting him talk. And they're not letting him say much. And instead, he's fucking shit up. And I think that's the best way to describe Bron Breakker. He's just fucking shit up. In the best way possible. Has the match with Ilya Dragunov last night. There's the match. And I loved what they did with Ilya, by the way. Another great match. Ilya gets to look like you just can't put this guy down. And he fights too hard. And he won't stay down, and it cost him. What a great use of a 10 count, by the way. Gets annihilated by Bron on the outside. Bron happy to take the count-out victory because of the destruction that he caused. And Ilya just keeps fighting to get back in the ring. That's how you beat a guy that you still want to go with. It's how he's presented. It's how the match is put together. So as soon and smartly by Bron Breakker, he doesn't have to be an idiot. He doesn't have to be a lunkhead. As soon as he saw Ilya coming in the ring, he started up for the spear. Great stuff. Here's a poll we're going to have going up here in a second. Is Bron Breakker's biggest win going to be over Brock Lesnar? We're putting that poll up. I'd love to. I see some of you guys, Ryan, let's get some of these comments up here, and I'll share you what I think. Bron's like Goldberg 2.0, but better, and that's coming from a childhood Goldberg fan. Certainly not as over, and obviously presented as a heel versus Goldberg as a babyface. Keon Hicks, top 3 story behind Chad and Liv and Dom. Well, I'm not a big Liv Dom person. I don't think that story's for me. I know it's over. Let's talk about this. Did we already discuss that hellacious bump Ricochet took on the spot to the truck? Watching from work, got busy, blah, blah, blah. He really went out making Bron look like a beast. Exactly what I saw. I thought the same thing. And I trust the excellent reporting of Mike Johnson. That's it for Ricochet. Ricochet did business last night. Comes out at the end to save Ilya. I got your back. Fights Bron off. Bron escapes to the crowd. Ricochet taking care of Ilya. All of a sudden, the medical personnel, not available for some reason. A little bit of a little gap in the storytelling there. Spears Ilya. He's out of the mix. Now we get the fight. And we have to watch Ricochet fight. He kept trying to go into kicks and all that stuff. But he got overpowered. I love Bron launching him. Everybody made the comparison. Nash and Rey Mysterio into the trailer. He took a hell of a bump on that. That did not look fun coming back down. And then he goes up the stairs and he power slams Ricochet through a window. Stretcher job. Sam comes off of doing ring announcing. And she's crying because she knows how to do that. And bye-bye. See you later. Ricochet did business going out the door. And props to him for going through with that. That was not a fun way to finish things up. He got whooped. And I'm sure a lot of that hurt. Let's put up another poll. It was a very important poll. Do you think CM Punk was mad they used real glass? It's a fair question. Going back to our past poll, is Bron Breakker's biggest win going to be over Brock Lesnar? 53% of you say no. I will say this. Using Sam the way WWE did and her being upset over what happened to her guy, I don't want to overly praise it because it's such an obvious thing to do. Like, yeah, we know their connection. That one time she gave him a kiss and he got all powered up like he got a super mushroom in Mario Brothers. So they've acknowledged it before. It's a thing. Of course she'd be upset. I like, just think of how Renee was handled when it came to Ambrose Moxley. She had to ignore everything. She couldn't comment on stuff. She had to bite her. It never made. It was such an awkward spot to put her in. And instead, last night I was like, oh yeah, he's destroyed. She should be upset. And, as WWE tends to do, you just sprinkle a little McAfee on it and everything's fixed. When in doubt, sprinkle a little Pat on it. Oh, Pat did it on his show? We should do that here. This is not a knock on Pat. I'm just saying that is a line of thinking in that company. A little Pat here. A little Pat right here. A little Pat right here. Oh, Pat did that on the Pat McAfee show? We should do that on another show. It works for him. That is a line of thinking in that company. Not everybody is Pat McAfee. If you have the real thing, that's fine. If you're trying to make other things the Pat McAfee show, it doesn't work because it's not Pat McAfee. Side comment on that one. Bron Breakker, somebody put it up before. He needs better music. Because I heard it and I was like, ooh, what jobber tag team is he in? Music stinks. I teased this before we came on the air of who I think Bron Breakker actually is. And he's not his uncle. To me, Bron Breakker is Psycho Sid. And by the way, give him that theme music. That's what I want him to be. Not Powerbomb doing the goal. I mean, like ECW Sid with the choke slams and all that. Psycho Sid, who would do anything, who would beat up Jose Lothario with a camera if he needed to. Go with that. I don't want Bron talking that much. I think it will kill his aura. Short, quick stuff. Let his intensity speak for itself. I'm going to run roughshod over this entire show. Adam Pearce, you wanted me, you got me. First name John, right there. Straight psychopath, Bron Breakker. I like that. That's what Bron Breakker should be. I think he's already there. That should be the template for Bron Breakker. Psycho Sid. Different sizes and all that stuff. But someone you cannot control. I already had the next feud for him. And someone's got to stand up to him. Someone's got to stand up to him that he can beat. Someone's got to stand up to him who may, you could say, have a loose relationship with Ricochet. Someone who's a veteran. Someone who says you can't do this. Can you imagine Bron Breakker spearing the living shit out of Rey Mysterio? Because I can. I definitely can. I remember when Roman did it. Bron Breakker needs to go up against uber baby faces. Rey Mysterio is one of those guys. And he can avoid stuff. He could be quick, even though he's older. Rey standing up to him. And if you need to throw some LWO guys in the mix for Bron to cut in half, go ahead and do so. I love the idea of Bron Breakker spearing Rey out of his mask. Pablo said, Why not his name can't be a Steiner? I believe because Rick and Scott own the name. I don't know that for sure, though. I think that might be part of it. Bron versus Sami Zayn could be great. From Derek. Cam brought up Sheamus, which is an interesting one. My concern with Sheamus is he is much bigger than Bron Breakker. Much bigger. Bigger than you realize. Bron's not that big. Think of who he's been in there with. Ilya, not big. Ricochet, not that big. Does Bron need a mouthpiece, says Will Morris, or do they continue to make him the Predator? Oh, let's see this again. Make him Predator out in the woods. For now, I think he's fine. There is an element of, and I say this positively before everything went to shit, there's an element of Ryback here. There's an element of ECW Rhino here. There's an element of Psycho Sid here. Connection? Nobody talked. Actions were all you needed. I want Adam Pearce and the WWE officials trying to pick up the pieces. The wake that Bron Breakker leaves behind. Who stops that? I think it's a big baby face like a Rey Mysterio. You just need someone like Ricochet is a baby face. It's amazing to me that the biggest story Ricochet has ever had in wrestling is on maybe his last night in the company. Maybe there is something to the thought that he comes back, but for what? To get beat again? You can do one too many things there. Bron sent him out of the company in an ambulance with his wife or girlfriend or whatever she is right next to him. That's good enough for me. Ricochet being gone the way he did it, good business. I also think it leaves the door open for a return. Think about that in a few years. Bron is ascending. Who comes back? Ricochet. Bron's IC champ or whatever the hell he is in a couple of years. Maybe he's higher than that. Who comes back? Ricochet. I think Ricochet did great business going out the door last night. And I think when you do that kind of business, the company remembers that. And they remember that down the road. He did everything you could possibly ask of a guy last night. Pablo says, also, do you believe it's a work? Because why put Samantha in the ambulance? There's no payoff. Yeah, the payoff is Bron fucked him up. They were using her to sell it. That's all. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the Wrestling Mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody over the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette.
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.